One of YouTube's most loved money videos is a list. The 20 Rules of Money, posted by Valuetainment in the year 2016, watched 8 million times. Its rules get quoted like law. Never fly first class until 10 million in the bank. Diversification is for sissies. Money is a doubles game. Big checks are a trap. Strong claims deserve a calculator, so today we run one. Here is a preview of the stakes. The video's own first-class example adds up to $162,000 a year, and that arithmetic is correct. Other rules do not survive contact with the data. By the end, you will know which 5 testable rules pass, which fail, and which are true only if you already own a business. Quick ground rules, so this stays fair. The 20 rules mix 2 different games. Some are about building a business where concentration, leverage, and speed genuinely rule. Others get heard as investing advice by millions of viewers who are not founders, and that is where math gets a vote. We are grading each rule for the ordinary saver, and we will say so whenever a rule is true for entrepreneurs but expensive for everyone else. We also check the video's own arithmetic before checking ours, and where its numbers are right, we say so plainly. 5 rules make specific, measurable claims. Those are the 5 going on the scale. Mindset rules like play your game get a pass on grading because you cannot fact check a pep talk. If you want every famous money rule run through a real calculator, subscribe. It is free and it keeps this channel honest. Rule 3 says money is a doubles game. $1,000 is just 10 doubles away from $1 million. The arithmetic of doubling is exactly right. The missing ingredient is time. At the stock market's long-run average of about 10% a year. The rule of 72 says one double takes about 7.2 years. 10 doubles by market returns alone, about 73 years. That is the part the pep talk skips. Market compounding cannot double you quickly. Only income, savings rate, and business ownership can speed the early doubles. So the honest version of Rule 3 is this. Your first doubles come from earning and saving aggressively, and only your later doubles come from the market. The game is real. The clock is longer than the video implies. Rule 8 says do not pay for first class until you have 10 million in the bank, and the video does its own math. Paying $1,500 extra per flight, 9 flights a month, costs $13,500 monthly, which is $162,000 a year. We checked it. The arithmetic is flawless. The hidden assumption is 9 flights a month, which is a road warrior founder's calendar, not a normal life. Fly 4 times a year, and the same discipline saves $6,000, which is still real money, still worth redirecting into index funds or a business. Verdict. Rule 8 passes with a footnote. The principle is not about airplanes. It is that recurring comfort upgrades are the quietest wealth leak there is at any scale. Rule 10 warns against end-of-the-world thinking and points at the crisis of 2008 when panicked sellers locked in their losses at the bottom. The scoreboard sense is brutal to the doomers. From its crisis low, the S&P 500 has grown about 11-fold on price alone, 11x, for anyone who simply refused to sell the world. This rule earns the series' cleanest pass, and it rhymes with what our Dalio fact check found. Fear feels sophisticated in the moment and costs a fortune over time. The video's related advice, holding cash so a crisis becomes your buying opportunity, is also directionally sound, with one caution from us. Crisis cash only works if it is genuinely idle reserve, not your emergency fund, wearing a costume. Rule 16 is the famous one. Diversification is for sissies. Real wealth comes from concentration. For a founder betting on their own company, concentration genuinely is the game. But the millions of viewers who heard stock picking should see 2 numbers first. Over the last 15 years, 89.5% of professional large cap fund managers failed to beat the plain S&P 500 index. And across a century of data, a majority of individual stocks, 51.6%, actually lost money over their lifetimes, While roughly 4% of stocks created all of the market's net wealth above treasury bills, concentration means finding those few needles. Professionals mostly cannot. The index simply buys the whole haystack, needles included. For savers, the sissy strategy is the one with the winning record. Rule 20 asks, $500,000 today, or $100,000 a year for 20 years. The video argues the income stream wins because it totals 2 million. Our calculator agrees with the conclusion and corrects the reasoning. Money later is worth less than money now, so you discount it. At a 7% discount rate, that 20-year stream is worth about $1,059,000 in today's dollars. Still double the lump sum, so the video's answer holds. But the 2 million framing ignores time value, and the answer actually flips if your discount rate passes about 19%, which is why lottery winners with expensive debts rationally take the lump sum. Verdict: right answer, incomplete math, and the complete version is genuinely more useful. The scorecard then, graded for an ordinary saver. Doubles game, passes as motivation, fails as a schedule, because market doubles take about 7 years each. First class, passes, arithmetic verified, footnote about who actually flies 9 times a month. End of the world mentality, full marks, 11x since the last apocalypse. Diversification is for sissies. Fails for savers on overwhelming data. Stands for founders concentrated in their own company. Big check syndrome. Right conclusion. Missing the discounting that makes it rigorous. 2 clean passes. 1 conditional. 1 split. 1 fail. That is a better record than most viral money lists. And the pattern is consistent. The video is strongest on behavior and weakest wherever compounding needs a clock. Here's what we would keep from all 20 rules. The respect for money as a game with rules, the crisis cash, the allergy to lifestyle leaks, and the refusal to panic. Those are behavior. And behavior is where most wealth actually dies. Here is what we would replace. Any rule that promises speed. The data bag path for a saver is unglamorous. A high savings rate, broad index funds, decades of patience, and concentration only in things you personally control, like your skills or your business. Hustle, culture, and index math are not enemies. They are different tools for different nets worth. The video teaches you to want wealth. The arithmetic in this episode is how wallets actually get there. 3 actions from this fact check. 1. Find your own first-class leak. The recurring upgrade you buy on autopilot, price it annually, and redirect it. 2. Write down your doubling plan honestly. Which doubles come from saving, which from the market, and roughly what decade each lands. 3. Before picking any stock, reread 2 numbers. 89.5% of professionals trail the index, and 4% of stocks create nearly all the wealth. Then decide if you are the exception. On paper, in writing, next on the long game, the series finale. Stock market for beginners, the most searched money topic on YouTube, rebuilt from scratch with only the numbers that survive. This channel is education, not financial advice. If this video saved you money, the like button helps someone else find it. Subscribe to the Long Game HQ for weekly money math without the hype. And watch next. The stock